So here we are at the Plymouth Plantation, and we are at John and Priscilla Alden's little cottage. We just met John, actually. Looks cozy. Nice fireplace.
As long as there's no law against it.
So this is actually John Alden. Sailed across on the Mayflower.
We have some neat cattle as
here
well.
in Plymouth.
When I went back to England in
1620.
1623,
John, what are you doing?
when I come back in 1624, I brought with me a bull and
He's doing a
3
good job
heifers
too.
that I brought with me.
It is needful to
Yes, I do.
occupy your hands
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some wise. Idle hands
That
do the devil's
also.
work, they say.
So,
And so,
It's probably true.
yeah, my first
Just
wife Elizabeth.
It is pleasing to God to be about
myself,
some labours.
One of my
And I
brothers,
am
my
pleased
brother
to help a neighbour
Gilbert.
by sharing a
We
bit
had a
of
young
kindling
girl
for him.
with us as a ward, Ellen
Wow.
Moore. And,
Where's Priscilla?
And two,
Oh, she has taken the children for to visit a neighbour outside the walls.
some
Okay.
and some have not.
So she's not home
Mistress,
right now, so we can't
Gilbert
visit
is
her.
alive. He went back to
Okay.
England subsequently, but
So you're
he
hanging
stayed
out
here
with
for a time.
Winslow
Another of my
over here.
brothers is here now. My
Hi.
brother John. My wife Elizabeth
Winslow
got
is
to
a-
take her from me.
Master Winslow, a very
As well as
learned
Ellen
man.
Moore,
Can
and
read
one of my
forward and
servants,
backwards, on
Elias,
account of having
as
been a
well,
printer.
along with so many
Wow.
perished at the beginning of this place.
But there are some half of our men here can read, some fewer write, and many of the women see.
Life is precious and very fragile here.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
well
know that.
anywhere it is, mistress. That is, I mean, as it say in the epistle of John, it say, "What is your life? Your life is
Well,
as
John,
a
you are
vapor,
very famous in the
there for an
future.
instant and afterwards
He's so
vanisheth
humble.
away."
I
And
did.
you cannot know what
I
the
cannot
future
quite
shall
credit
bring,
it.
what even tomorrow
Sounds
shall
like a
bring.
most unlikely thing. A poor cooper such as myself.
Yeah, my
coming
wife
to
is
be any
Anna.
wise
She come at
famous.
the same time.
You're very famous.
She come.
Thank you for
herself,
letting
her
us talk to you.
husband, they had a young boy.
Thank you for
Resolve.
coming.
So we've come upon this cottage, Cook. Cooke, Cookie. If you're watching, this one's for you. Friday, February 16th, 1621, Captain Miles Standish and Francis Cook, being at work in the woods, came home, left their tools behind, but before they returned, their tools were taken away. It's unfortunate. Old English handwriting. And this is the Allerton Cottage. For those of you Allertons out there.
Raised away from such things, but such is the universal nature of all men. Even these simple heathens that live in the woods can be just as wicked as those that are more civilized. So we've already, they have war. Ever since Cain and Abel, there's been violence, and regrettably that does not come with just civility, but just being human. So hopefully we'll avoid any serious, but we've had violence here betwixt. The trouble with their country here is actually very similar to the countries in the continent, where it's really not one country. So it's not just, for instance, it's not just Holland. That's one province of all the Dutch republics. It's not just, Bavaria. It's all of the German little principalities and all these, and they all have allegiances. And Italy is not a real country. It's all these little cities. The same with the natives. And so you ally with one, you just made enemies of two you never met. So we've been threatened here by people I've never stood face to face with. That's why we have a wall. That's why we have a captain. But thankfully, God has preserved us in such a way that there's never been violence here in our town.
Are there maybe other social problems like thievery, or is it?
Not
No, I don't mean between the native people and your group.
but
In
amongst
in
ourselves.
younger, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually between both. So in the beginning,
Yeah.
we stole from each other, but that became part of our agreement that we will not do that anymore.
Okay.
I mean, it's always an agreement. I mean, that's
Okay.
the law, so that's not going to change those that will do it anyways. But the amount, like the sort of thievery that you might find in a place like this, is more pertaining to passion, in such a way that, I mean, we've had people stealing the greatest problem. It would not take a great intellect or wit to figure out where, for instance, your fine coat went, and there's nowhere to buy things. So people aren't stealing non-consumable things as much, but more, when we were under rationing and we were starving, people started stealing food. So they had to be whipped to stop them from stealing.
So what did you first hear? What did you first hear about America?
This place?
Yeah, before you came here.
Oh, it's a wilderness.
So
I mean, all of it's wild. This place is more wild than anywhere.
that's what you first heard. when you
Oh, I
were
think.
born.
When you were preparing to
Yeah.
For
come.
preparing, well, it depended upon where we were going to go. We looked at a lot of different places. And so we finally settled upon the northernmost part of Virginia, the Hudson River. And we heard that, good country. Obviously, Jamestown has had a hard go at it, but, I mean, most colonies do. And so, temperament enough, that it's not so dissimilar from England, but still just extreme. Everything about this place is wild, which is it's like claiming the wilderness back after the flood. And of course, the closest wilderness to England is really Ireland, and so many corporate town has now sprung up in Ireland, sort of the first stepping block to advancing civilization.
So that's the Allerton family here in Plymouth. People from Holland asking them questions. That was really fun.